Yo, 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 what's the dealio, y'all? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling, man? It's Sunday. We got the uh we got the live popping off, y'all. Sorry for a little bit of tardiness. I was 2, 3 minutes late, but we here and we about to get it popping. All right. So if you guys are just tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. What up, Best Beezy? How you feeling? How you feeling? How is everybody doing out there? I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I hope you had a cool weekend so far. All right. We about to talk about the market. We about to talk about what's about to happen this week. Okay. So make sure y'all got y'all notes, y'all notepads, right? Let's make sure you guys are ready because we about to talk about the market and we about to come up with a game plan for this week. All right. Jerry, what's up? How you feeling? That's BC. I'm watching the game. Oh, okay. Steelers fans, huh? QTZ, what's up? What's up? If you guys are just tuning in, like this video real quick. All right, let's make sure we get this live to 100 likes. All right, by the time we get off this live, let's make sure we get this live to 100 likes. Okay. So last week, obviously, it was a crazy week. Some people blew their accounts. Some people made more than they ever have, right? Some people grew their accounts. Some people broke even. Okay. So it was one of those weeks, right? It was one of those weeks where anything could have happened. All right. Um, what's up? What's up, Doc? How you feeling? What up, Culture? Orlando. Shout out to Orlando. Shout out to Florida. What up, Johnny? He said I was about to get into some sessions I missed, but we here. Oh, okay. Yeah, we here. Bears. Oh, I'm sorry. Nah, hey, what's the name? The quarterback is he's doing pretty good though. Caleb Williams. Shout out to Maryland. Okay. What up, Swift 22nd? So look, y'all. All right. So we got this week. So the past week was crazy. All right. The past week was crazy. This past week, obviously the market dumped like crazy, but 2 weeks ago, I told you guys the market was coming down, right? I saw what was going on, so I hope that nobody blew their account or lost money or nothing crazy like that. All right, so let's start. Let's just start and let's get into the charts and let's get into the analysis for last week. Okay, let's see how the watch list panned out. My whole watch list last week went crazy. Okay, let me ask everybody a question before we go on the charts. Who took a trade off of last week's watch list? If you got into a trade off of last week's watch list, whether it was Datadog, Amazon, or JP Morgan, right? If you guys took one of those trades, let me know in the comments. All right? Let me know in the comments. What up, Stefan? How you feeling? What up, Henry? Right? So yeah, if you guys took one of those trades, Datadog, Amazon, or what's the other one I said? JP Morgan, let me know in the comments because I want you guys to realize that if these if these if you take these trades, you can change your life in 1 week, right? 1 week. That's all it takes, right? So Amazon, JP Morgan. Yeah, y'all gotta listen. If y'all taking these trades, y'all gotta let me know because I wanna know, right? Like y'all wins, right? So if you're in a Discord, man, and you took some of the watch list trades, right? Share those wins and the profits because I like seeing if people are actually paying attention to these watch lists, right? If you aren't in a Discord, I won't know, right? But if you aren't, let me know if you took those trades as well, right? But yeah, y'all, like I'm calling the trades out every week before things happen, right? I'm calling the trades before the week. A couple weeks ago, I said the market was coming down. It ain't came up since I said it was coming down, right? So every week we are calling bangers. I just want to make sure that you guys aren't just tapping in, but you're not executing on these trades that are panning out. Okay. So, so yeah, like be sure to share the wins. Okay. Don't just keep it to yourself. share the wins, right? So, because all y'all saying you hit Amazon, IWM Paper Trade, JP Morgan, MRK, right? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like be sure to share those trades, y'all. All right, and those wins. Okay? If you guys are tuning in, like this video. If you have not already, like this video. All right, we about to break down the market, and I'm gonna show you guys where we gonna make money at this week. All right, so let's go over an analysis for last week and last week's watch list as well. Okay, so bang, bang. Let's go to the charts. Alrighty, so this is AMD, but let's go to SPY. All right. So last week, Stefan said one on Datadog and was up on JPM, but overstayed my welcome. Yeah, see profit, man. If y'all see that profit and it's solid, then you know what I mean. Like, take the profit, right? Of course, IWM. Yeah, you murder IWM and Google. I think SPY. I saw you murder SPY, and that was only out of 2 days. So, Doc, you've been cooking. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Doc. All right. So this is SPY, right? So this is the daily time frame. Let's look at the weekly real quick. On the weekly time frame, look what this was, right? Look what this was right here on a weekly time frame on SPY. We got a 212 bearish continuation. Simple as that. All right, simple as that. 212 bearish continuation. G Dollars. Hey, shout out to G Dollars, man. He had his first $1,000 day, and then he made like 3K the other day. So you know what I mean? Like, shout out to that, man. QTZ, she said IWM daily. Yeah, man. All right, so look, SPY, we got a 212 bearish continuation, right? Simple setup, right? Look at this right here, right? It triggered right here at 663, and then look where it came down to. Came all the way down to 650, right? So last week was a 212 bearish continuation per the strat. Y'all know that I use a strat to trade. Strat and order blocks and fair value gaps, right? You could go run up a crazy bag off of just those 3 things: the strat, order blocks, and fair value gaps, okay? So 212 bearish reversal last week is what happened. So we have so it consolidated last week. This just past week, it continued down, right? This is a 212 bearish continuation, all right? Now, look what happened. It came down to this fair value gap right here, and then it bounced up on Friday, right? It bounced up on Friday. And I told you guys, I said, when I went live on Thursday, I said, after this day, I said, look what happened the last time we had a 3-bar and we came down to this level. I pointed them out right here, right? And then I said, boom, came down, and then it pumped up, right? I said, if we come down here and we bounce, this could be the start back of an uptrend. All right, boom. So this is what happened. It came down to this level, right? Y'all see the level, a 3-bar, and then look, it bounced up right here. So this week is going to be so crucial to the overall direction for SPY, which is the market. All right. So for SPY this week, all right, first things first, I want you guys to understand we're going to try to retest something, okay? We just came and tested this 50 EMA right here, right? A little bit under it, right? So let's look at this. We got a failed 2 down on a daily. On the weekly, we came down to this fair value gap and we bounced, right? That was at 653. Go to the daily at 653. Boom, right? Came down here and we bounced. So with that being said, we have, so I'm going to look at SPY to come and try to retrace this candle right here, right? Maybe tomorrow, since we're on the failed 2 down on Friday, right? So if you look at it for SPY tomorrow, right? For SPY tomorrow, Calls above 664.57. Okay. Calls above 654.57. Yep. 664, my bad. All right. Calls above 664.57. All right. Now, let's look at, so we got a couple areas I want you guys to pay attention to. Okay? Couple areas I want you guys to pay attention to. We got previous month highs right here. I want y'all to pay attention to 667.30. Okay? Key levels. All right, 667.30. First thing, right? Calls above 664.57. Pay attention to this key level at 667.30. That's the previous month's high. All right? We could reject off the previous month's high as we're coming up. Right? If we get above there, then I want y'all to pay attention to this 21 EMA right here. Right? That's going to be at 669.27. All right? Next one, 669.27. Key level. All right? 669.27. Okay? If we get above 669.27, then we're going to come and retest 675.56. Okay? 675.56. 656. All right. Let me know if this makes sense, y'all. All right. Full. All right. So these are the levels that you want to pay attention to the upside on SPY this week. All right. So I'm taking you through the journey right here, right? I'm taking you through the journey right here. This is off the weekly time frame. Right? What's up, Trees? What up, Mayoli? Kanaka? So look. Calls above 664.57. The next level that it could reject at is 667.30. If we get above 667.30, then we could come test up here to 669.27. And then if we get above 669.27, we're coming up to 675.56. Right? Now, at any point of these areas, we can reject. Right? We can reject. If we reject at 664.57, then we're going to come back down to, let me see. If we reject at 664.57, then we're going to come down to, let me see. We're going to come down to 657 and then 650. Okay? So, be very, very, very clear on what the game plan is, right? These are the levels that we're going to try to test and reclaim, right? Yeah, I'm on a daily time frame. These are the levels that, what's up, Juan? We're going to come up to the upside and retest, and we can reject at any one of these levels, right? Now, if we start to reject, let's look at some downside levels, right? So we got it's the weekly. We got 650.91. So weekly support. All right. Your weekly support is going to be 650.91. Okay? 650.91. Right? So, 650.91 is your weekly support to the downside. Now, we got, then that's Friday's low. Okay? So if we reject at that 664, then we could be coming down to 650.91. All right? Now, if we break 650.91, then I want you guys to look at 650, right? I want you guys to look at 650, okay? The weekly support is 650.91, but I want you guys to focus on 650. All right? Puts below 650. All right? Puts below 650. Now, if we break below 650, then that 647 level I was talking about is in play. 647 would be in play, right? So, $647.07. All right. So, these are my levels right here. All right. These are my levels right here. So, Bessie B said, looks like a nice place to make a higher low and then form a head and shoulders. Where you see a head and shoulders at? I kind of see what you're saying, but I mean, I don't know, because this created a range right here, right? Previously, right? So if you look right in this area, it created a range, and then it honored that same range right here. So really, we're either going to break below this range or break above this range back to the upside. So, and the only reason to me, it don't look like a head and shoulders is because this would be the head, and then what? This would be the shoulder, and this would be the shoulder, but this could be creating a shoulder as well, which would mean that there's two shoulders, and that's not a head and shoulder. So like, I don't really know. We have to kind of see what happens over the next 2 to 3 days, right? So right now, I'm taking everything day by day, right? I'm taking everything day by day right now. Okay. One question: what kind of expiration date do you use on IWM? 0 data expirations. I'm in 0 data expirations. If I swing trade, then I may do 2 days away or a week out. It depends, but 9 times out of 10, I'm using 0 data expirations on IWM. So these are your levels for SPY. Okay. These are your levels for SPY right here. I'm giving you rejection points. I'm not just saying calls above this level. I'm letting you know where a stock could potentially reject and reverse at, right? So understand that. I'm giving you guys the whole blueprint. I'm giving you guys the whole situation, all right? So let me know if that makes sense on SPY in the comments, all right? If you guys are just tuning in, be sure to like this video, all right? Like this video and let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from, right? I just broke down SPY in great detail for you, right? So there's no way you can't make money tomorrow. And we ain't even gotten to the watch list yet, all right? So like this video, let me know where you guys are tuning in from, all right? I want to make sure that I understand who's watching these videos and who's consuming this content on YouTube, right? I want to make sure. So I like knowing who's watching these videos, all right? So don't be a stranger, right? Let me know in the comments where y'all tuning in from. Okay? And like this video. Now, the next thing is going to be IWM. All right? Quantel Wells, Miami. So it's a lot of people on the East Coast, basically, right? A lot of people be watching my channel from the East Coast. Miami, up north, right? Northeast, New York, DC, Pittsburgh, that little area right there. Yeah, it'd be a lot of people on the East Coast. So it makes sense. I trade SPY all the time, but thanks to you, I got into IWM. It was amazing, better than, yeah, I mess with IWM way more than SPY, okay? So now let's go to IWM and let's break down the game plan for IWM. All right. If you guys don't know, IWM is my focus a lot of the times because it's just a better index to trade, in my opinion. Okay. 601 Pac-Man, Mississippi. Oh yeah, shout out. What up, assets? How you feeling? Detroit. What up? What up? Austin. That's where my family from. Right? That's where my kinfolk from, is Austin, Texas. Shout out to Texas, man. I'm about as west as it gets. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you all the way in Hawaii. What up, D? Right? North Side, Houston. Hey, shout out to Houston, man. Shout out to Houston. P. Bryant, what up? What up, Adam, out in Canada? I know it's a lot of people from Canada that be rocking with me, too. All right, so let's go to IWM now. Now, before we go into IWM, what I'm going to say is this week, because on Friday, we finished the market, we closed bullish, right? I'm going to, depending on how futures open up, right, overnight, and how we open up in the morning, I am going to expect a retracement to the upside, but depending on what stock you're looking at, there's going to be certain fair value gaps where the stock can reject, okay? So, be very, very, very clear at what I'm saying, right? If the stock is close to a rejection point, it has to get above that rejection point in order for it to go higher, okay? So this is how you do not get tricked out, all right? I want to make sure you guys understand what I'm saying, okay? Silver Springs, Maryland. Hey, I used to live out there, man. I used to live in Rockville. So shout out to the whole DMV, man, for real. All right. Appreciate that. Yeah, every day I'm coming to you with content that could change your life if you let it. All right. So now let's go to IWM and let me break down IWM, the whole game plan. Okay. I'm not just going to give you this level and say, hey, go do your thing. Right. I like to make sure that people understand what I'm saying because context is important, right? None of this is financial advice, all right? Let me get that out the way as well. Nothing that I say is financial advice. I'm letting you guys know what I see on the charts, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, IWM game plan. This is my game plan for IWM. If you want to follow along, feel free, all right? Now, with IWM, we got right here, okay? So we got IWM on a 3-1, right? On a daily, 3-1 on a daily. This is a consolidation, but it's a very bullish consolidation, right? So I'm going to be looking for tomorrow, and then I'll talk about this week, but I'm going to be looking for IWM to break above Friday's high, which is 237.14. So what we're going to say is, we're going to say calls above 237.11, okay, for tomorrow on IWM. Calls above 237.11. Now let's go to the weekly real quick. Look what happened. A bearish 3-bar and then boom, right? Made the move. Okay? Bearish 3-bar, boom. These setups happen so often. All right? Bearish 3-bar, boom. Right? Simple as that. Now, this week right here, it had a bearish 3-bar and it did not trigger. Right? That's why sometimes I won't swing a 3-bar on the weekly unless I see a pattern that supports it. Right? It gapped up and then it went up and then it came down some more. Right? So it took what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks to continue down and do what it was doing originally. Right? But bearish 3-bar, 2 candle trigger, and then boom, came down, right? But this is last week though, right? Look at how low it came down, right? So let's go to the real quick right here. Now look at this. On a daily time frame, boom, boom, boom. All right, so look. Right here, we have bullish divergence came up on the 4-hour. I talked about this on Thursday, right? Then it reversed right here. Now, so for IWM, right? For IWM, this is what we got. We got calls above 237.11, right? Now on the daily time frame, I think that number one, we're going to try to break through this 239.09 area, right? We retraced this whole candlestick in one day and we got above 50%. Okay? So we got above 50% of the sell-off, right? We got above 50% of the sell-off. So my new support, because we got above 50% of this candle right here, let's go to the hourly. My new support is going to be, yep, right here. It's going to be 233.50. Okay? So my support for tomorrow and Tuesday is going to be 233.50. Okay? So my weekly support is going to be 233.50. Okay? Because, watch this. If we go back to the hourly, we have a massive fair value gap right here. Okay? That if we do come down, we'll probably come down here and then we'll bounce and then we'll go higher. Right? So 233.50. That's where we can come down to. Right here on the hourly time frame, I see a bull flag, right? I see a bull flag right here. So if I do a measured move, right? This is a measured move right here. Let's see where we can go. If we break out of this bull flag, then we're going to come to 242.67, right? If we come up to the bull flag. But on the daily time frame, we have 241, okay? This is a rejection point. $241. All right. 241. So if we break above 237.11, you could enter in the calls. It could come and test the high of day right here on Thursday at 239.08. So I would say first price target is 239.08. Okay? First price target is 239.08. Per the strat method, if IWM breaks above Friday's high, right? Friday's high, then it should come up to here at 239.08. So you can catch a move from 237.11 to 239.08, and tomorrow you could change your life with IWM. Right? Literally. So that's what I see. That's what I like. He said there's a cup and handle on the hourly. Where you see it at? Right here? You see this cup right here? Do you think this look like a handle? I mean, that's cool. Or, let me see. You might be saying, I mean, there's a cup and then a flag, right? So yeah. So this is a flag right here, right? Bull flag. Move to the up, consolidation, right? We break above it, blast off, right? So if we get above Friday's highs, 237.11, Friday's highs, 237.11, then we enter in and we go higher, okay? Now, if you see us coming here at 238.61, this is an order block right here, then, you know what I mean? It could reject here. So if you don't have this tool, you're not going to see this though. So, real simple, right? A bullish 312 reversal to the upside, calls above 237.11. First price target is 239.09. Then we could come up and retest 241. If we reject there, then we could come down lower. If we reject off of Thursday's highs, then we could come down lower. Okay? So, but we did get above 30% of this big red candle right here. So we should be continuously going to the upside. All right? So, let me know if that makes sense on IWM. Let me know if that makes sense on IWM. I just broke down the SPY and I broke down IWM for you guys in great detail. Okay? In great detail. I want you guys to understand this is in great detail. I'm giving you guys the whole actual blueprint. You can go make money tomorrow based on what we just talked about for the last 32 minutes. Okay? This is real life. So if you guys are tuning in and you haven't, like this video. All right, get those likes up. And also let me know in the comments where you guys are tapping in from, where you guys are tuning in from, all right? I got IWM expected moves at 242.01, upside 229 to the downside. IWM is a great play, absolutely, right? And yeah, you said 242.01, that coincides with the bull flag measured move. So if it breaks out of that bull flag to the upside, then we could realistically be going at 242. But first we got to get above 241, right? And if we get above there, then we go into the upside. Yeah, it's a 312 bullish reversal. It's not a 212, right? Because if you look at it, right? On a daily time frame. On a daily time frame, this is a 3-bar, okay? So we got a 3-1-2 setup. And because this candle, we recovered so well on Friday, I'm anticipating us to break above Friday's highs and then go higher. All right, so that's what we got on IWM right there. We had a very, very strong sell-off, obviously, on Thursday, but the last week and a half, we've really been in a downtrend ever since we hit IWM. So, I mean, all-time high. So we've been coming down. So yeah. That's what we got for IWM, okay? Now we're about to go over my watch list, but I'm telling you guys, honestly, you can run it up with IWM alone, all right? If you really wanted to. So I could stop right here and y'all could go make $1,000 tomorrow, real talk, right? It needs to come down more for it to be a handle. Exactly. Yeah, it got to come down, slant it more for it to be an actual handle, right? Because the handle isn't straight across, it's slanted down. So because that gives it room to go higher and blast off, okay? So yeah, that wasn't like a cup and handle. All right. Invest with Rod. What's up? What's up, bro? Glad I caught you. Yeah, happy Sunday, man. I'm glad you're here. All right, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're tapping in. Where you tuning in from, Rod? What we got? What else we got in the chat? Makes sense. Shout out to Texas, man. Hey, we got these sweatshirts coming out real soon. Stay tuned on that. All right. Yeah, I didn't know it was. Yeah, it's a 3 bar. All right. I got you, Johnny. It's coming. Shout out to Dallas, man. I love Dallas, Houston, and Austin. Right. I don't mess with San Antonio like that though. But but I mess with Dallas, man. Dallas is a great place. All right. So IWM Spy, I went over everything. Okay. Inside and out, we got all of our levels. We ready to go mob on the market this week and go make some bread. Okay. Now, what I am gonna say is shout out to Georgia. I used to live in Atlanta for some time, so Atlanta got a special place in my heart. Even though it's a crazy, it's a wild place, but it still got a special place in my heart. All right. Now let's go to last week's watch list, and I want to show you guys, right, what it was looking like. Okay. What do I think about Verizon after cutting 13,000 jobs? A lot of times, whenever a company cuts jobs, the stock ends up going up in value, and they did just beat their earnings very nicely, so they could be coming to the upside. Honestly, I traded them the day after they had earnings, and we smacked them for like 30%, but that's it. I don't really. Verizon is a good dividend stock, but yeah, maybe I'll look at their chart in a minute. Okay, but let me get through this watch list so I could give you guys my setups for this week, and then we could go from there. All right. So I just want to be able to show you guys the efficiency of the play calling and the eye, so you guys know you aren't just watching some random person on the internet. Okay. On the internet. Shout out to Doria from Boston, tapping in from Dallas. Been following you for a minute. I don't mess with Sam. I feel you. Yeah, Walmart, they had earnings and they went up as well. I missed out on them on, was it Thursday? I meant to trade them, but I didn't. All right. She from the, Angie from the DFW area. Okay. It made all authorized dealers are going to make bank. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. It makes sense. Yeah, I have been all over the place. I've been all around the world, man. All around the world. But let's go look at these last week's watch list, right? So last week I called JPM, right? I'm showing you guys this because last week I called it, right? Three setups, and just look what happened, okay? I said JPM, right? First off, I said there are some massive opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of bearish signals, right? Signs for the week to continue to come down. We may come up first and then reject and go lower. So be on the lookout for the top of the week of the bull trap, right? I literally wrote this last Sunday morning at 9:33 Pacific time. Okay. So we got JP Morgan, right? Let's go look at JP Morgan. JPM. Look at this right here. Okay. Check this out. Y'all see this double top right here? We had the double top right here. I said, this is the neckline. It could come down to the neckline right here. It's got an order block right here. I took an entry on this day right here. I got out here, but look what happened. Boom, it came all the way down. Look, price target 292, double top neckline, right? Puts below 301.31. Look where it came, right down to 292. All right, stop playing with me. All right? Like, this is how you find bangers. All right, so this was JPM, right? Beautiful play, beautiful setup. It did its thing, okay? The next one I called was Datadog, right? It was at all-time highs. It had a failed two up on a weekly time frame, got a gap to fill to the downside. I said we could be coming down to 160 to 164 if we break below 178.14, okay? Let's go look at Datadog. DDOG. Oh my goodness. It came to 153. All right. It came from 150. Let's look at the weekly. Failed to up, trigger, drop. Right? Failed to up, trigger, drop. Came down to 153. Came and filled this gap right here. All right. This is how you change your life in the stock market. All right. This is how we did it. This right here was a beautiful setup. I called this last week and it panned out. So if you would have just had the levels written down and took this, you could have got rich last week off of Datadog. All right, these are puts. The last one I called was Amazon. Okay, very similar. A lot of selling pressure. We could bounce at 231. If we lose that level, we could come down to 227, right? Puts below 232.87. Let's go look at Amazon. Oh my goodness, look at this, right? Look at this right here. Look at this, right? I said puts below 232, right? This was last Friday. We came below here, and look what happened. We came all the way down here to 215. Okay? All the way down to 215. 3 for 3 last week on my watch list. All right? 3 for 3 last week on my watch list. I'm talking about big boy moves were made. All right? Don't take this watch list lightly, y'all. All right? Set these alerts for the levels that I give you guys, and you can make money. All right? If you want to go deeper, then join a collective. Go come book a one-on-one. All right? How do you trade earning plays? Factoring in the IV. I let the IV get crushed first, and then I trade after the IV gets crushed. All right? It's way too much to talk about right now, but yeah, be sure to join the Discord, the Prosperity Collective. Because we talk about that inside of there. Okay. Thorough Mickey Ray, new to the channel, watching from Puerto Rico. Hey, shout out to that. I hope you're enjoying it. All right. Yeah, it is life changing. All right. If y'all are watching this, be sure to like this video. Okay. Like this video. I'm giving you guys a whole overview of the market, analysis of certain stocks, of indexes, right? Like I'm giving you guys real game, real sauce. All right. So be sure to like this video. Let me know where you guys are tapping in from. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, we got my 3 setups for this week now, okay? So we went over SPY, we went over IWM, and then we went over last week's watch list as well. I just showed you guys that I called 3 setups that went crazy last week, okay? Went crazy last week. So what do we have this week? Let's go look at it. All right. So first one we got is going to be, let me pull it up real quick. Here we go. All right. Y'all see this right here? First up is going to be MMM. Okay. 3M. Now, they be making like the mask and stuff like that, right? They make a lot of stuff, a lot of office supplies. We got a 312 bullish reversal setup. Okay, we've been consolidating in this $13 range. Let's go to MMM and go check it out real quick. All right, so look at this right here. So first things first, right? First things first, let's look at this. We got a range right here. So we got this right here, right? We got this right here, and then we got this right here, okay? So this is going to be your range that they've been in, right? But I want you to pay attention. This right here, this area right here, this created a higher low, all right? So this created a higher low than here, right? So now it looks like this could start a new uptrend right here, okay? If this starts an uptrend, then where could we be going? Let's do this real quick. Make a little line right there, right? Boom, right? If we break out of this channel, which would be literally right here at 170, then we could be going up. If we break above right here at 172, then we could really do some numbers, right? But we currently have a 3-1 setup on the daily time frame. Now let's go to the weekly real quick. Look at the weekly. What's the weekly got? A failed 2 down on the weekly, okay? Failed 2 down on the weekly. So what do I have? I have calls above 169.77, calls above 169.77, that is a break above the weekly high. It's also a break above Friday's high as well. Okay? This is Thursday. Really Thursday's high, right? So Thursday's high and Friday's high right here. So if you want to, you can get in above Friday's high at 169.38, or you could just wait until it goes up an extra 60 cents or 50 cents and break above 169.77. If we get above 169.77, then this thing is going to be coming to 172, right? And if we get above 172, we could really see this do some numbers and it could go crazy, right? Because if you go to the monthly time frame, let's look at it. We're inside of this order block as well, right? We're on a 3-bar last month in October. Right now, we're on a 1 consolidation bar. If we trigger above the high of last month, which is 172, that's going to give us a 3-2 to the upside, right? A 3-2 to the upside, and we're inside of this order block and we haven't rejected just yet. So because we haven't rejected just yet and we're inside of this order block, that is a great sign. And if buyers continue to step in and stay strong right here, we can break above this area, this 172 area right here. If we get above 172, then we're going to be coming up to 174. And then above there is going to be 183. Okay? So this is MMM. All right? This is MMM right here. This is what I got. 3M company. We got a failed 2 down on the weekly. And then we on the daily, we got a bearish 3-1. We got a bullish 3-1-2 reversal to the upside. All right? Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense, y'all. All right? That's 3M. If you guys are tuning in, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. All right. Right now, we got 80 people on the live right now. So let me know where y'all tapping in from, okay? I'm giving you guys levels. I'm giving you guys stocks that I'm looking at, that I'm looking to trade, that I'm looking to put my money behind this week in the stock market. All right. What up, Dr. V? How you feeling? Okay. So that's 3M. First setup is what I'm looking at. 3-1-2 bullish reversal. All right. Appreciate you sharing your knowledge, giving ideas for profitable trades. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, these trades hit, y'all. Go back to last week's watch list and just find out. I mean, go look at what I called, the levels that I called, and just go look at what the stocks did, right? I've literally called some crazy. I called OKLO before they broke out and they ran up all the way to 180. Come on now, right? Johnny, oh, what's up? How you feeling? What up, Brittany? How you doing today? Shout out to everybody tapping in and joining in. All right, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next setup. Okay, the next setup that I have, this is going to be a very beautiful one right here. This pans out. This one right here could change your life too. All right. Shout out to Connecticut, man. East Coast. It's a lot of East Coasters that be rocking. All right. Look at this next one. We got quantum computing. Okay. We got quantum computing, y'all. Now, let's go look at QUBT. That's the ticker symbol for this setup. Let's go to QUBT. Okay. Look at this right here. We got a double bottom. Okay. We got a double bottom right here. Right? Double bottom. This thing look clean. Okay. This thing look real nice right here. We got a move to the downside. Right? We got a move to the downside all the way down here. We came up. Right? Dead cat bounce, came back down, right? Now watch this. So we came back down right here, okay, to this support level. Now look at this, right? Look at this. We got, boom. What is that, y'all? What is this right here? What do you see? What do you guys see? Let me know in the comments what y'all see, right? Bullish divergence, right? A double bottom, This looks like this thing could blast off. Okay? This thing could blast off. And I'm talking about in a crazy way. All right? We could easily see it get back up to $16. Easily. All right? Easily. So, this is a very volatile stock as well. So, right here, I said calls above 1094. Okay? And that's this level right here, 1094. So if we get above 1094, then we're going to come up to $12 easily, right? We're going to come up to $12. We come up to $12, and if we get above 1235, we're going to do some damage. We're going to come up to 1354, and then we're going to just like go crazy because we got this whole double bottom right here. All right? We got this whole double bottom right here. All right? I hope you guys see this, okay? I'm giving y'all layups, right? I'm giving y'all layups. Do you know how hard, I don't want to say how hard, but to find a double bottom before it pans out is not easy, right? Sometimes we see a stock running up and we don't look at the charts, right? This right here, QUBT, after it's down, and look, from its recent highs was at $26, right? The stock right now is at $10, okay? So let me give you guys some perspective real quick, right? If the stock is at $10 and it was just at $26, let's do some quick math, right? $10 divided by 26 times 100, that's 38% down, y'all. 38% down. When a stock is down 38%, that's when it's time to get rich. Okay? That is when it is time to get rich. Now, I don't know. It could gap up tonight, right? But if we close on the daily above that, if we close above the daily, above 1094, that thing could be coming back up. Okay? So that double bottom that I'm seeing and that bullish divergence, it could very much so go crazy. It needs to close above 1094 though, okay? Make sure you guys remember the things I say. If it does not close above this level on a daily, do not swing it, okay? This is why I give you guys these levels. It could come up there, it could reject during the day, and then you could be like, oh, it's above, it got to the level on the daily. I mean, like during the day. But if it does not close above 1094, do not swing it. But if it closes above 1094, man, you could run that up. All right. So that's the next one, right? So we got MMM, and then we got QUBT, very volatile stock, right? They go up and down, but they've been on a downtrend and they're down 38% from recent highs. This is an opportunity right here, okay? Said QUBT took a tech flash crash with NVIDIA. Yep. A lot. QUBT, RGTI, all of those stocks, right? QBTS, all of them. Now, watch this. What are those stocks? They are small cap stocks, right? What index tracks small cap stocks? IWM. Are y'all following now? Right? IWM tracks small cap stocks. If I see IWM on a 312 bullish reversal, and then I see another small cap stock that has a double bottom, what is this telling me? What is the charts telling me? The charts are telling me that we're at the bottom for these small cap stocks, and we could get ready to make a bounce and go crazy to the upside for the next month. That's what this is telling me, right? That's what this is telling me. And I'm just the messenger, and I'm sharing this message with y'all, right? Am I saying go and buy a stock, go get in? No. What I'm saying is the way that I trade off of the strat method, these are the setups that I'm finding and I'm seeing, right? And if you understand what's happening here, you can get rich over the next 2 to 3 weeks, right? You could increase your bag. You can increase your trading account, right? So please, please, please understand that the things that I'm saying, this stuff is life changing for real. All right? Like real talk. I just gave you guys 2 banger setups, right? They've already came down, they've already tested. Now we just need to see them break above a certain level and we in that thing. All right? So, I know people be like, oh, certain stocks are overvalued and all of this stuff. Listen, I get all of that. QUBT, they just came down from $26. They're down 40%. Even if they retrace 5%, 10% from that being down 38%, you could still change your life on that move alone. So it's about knowing how to trade, knowing when to take entry so you're not getting caught up in these pullbacks, right? And you're not catching the falling knife and you get out when you're up, right? Decent. And you just keep rinsing and repeating that same process and that same strategy no matter what the stock is. Because it's not about the stock that you trade, it's how you trade the stock. I'm telling you, I tell you guys this almost every day. And about what you trade. That's why I focus my time on trying to show you guys how to do the thing, right? RGTI, yeah, it's very affordable. All right, it's very affordable. That's another thing. I like to share these stocks that don't be expensive either, right? Because I know the average person, usually they're starting trading, right? And they don't have a $20,000 account where they could go swing meta, right? So that's why I like to focus on like small cap stocks. A lot of times I focus on small cap stocks or stocks that their options are like less than $200, right? RGTI has a 2 down with the green outline. Let's go look. What up, First Ballot? How you feeling? Let's go look at RGTI, and then I'll give you guys my last setup for the week. All right. RGTI. So yeah, failed 2 down, right? Remember, it's a failed 2 down, not a 2 down, right? So yeah, it's a 2 down with a green candle, and that makes it a failed 2 down, right? So yeah, so RGTI, very similar thing. They bouncing off this 200 EMA right here. So if RGTI gets above 24.51, then it could be coming up to $26, $27. So it does have some resistances to get through, but RGTI looks like it's going up too, or it's gonna try to. QBTS, same thing, right? Failed 2 down right here off of the 200 EMA. So that looks like it could be going up as well. All right. So yeah, let's see what else we got. He said, yeah, 100% for sure. Marquin, it's about 100 for a month. Yep. Yeah. So if we close above 1094, I might get January's expiration dates, contracts on QUBT, right? Or I might get like the middle or the end of December. But we're talking, I saw like $80, right? Depending on what spread you get. But it's not a lot at all, right? And if this thing moves, like it'll gap up and gap down 3 to 5% on any given day. Because QUBT gaps up and down crazy like that, I'm willing to get a month out, and it's at $10 right now. Come on now, right? Come on now, like when you understand things like this, come on now, like you just walk into money, right? So now let's go to the last setup that I got for you guys. All right. My last setup for the week. Yeah, I'll go over SoFi. Right. I'll go over SoFi. Can you check QBTS? I just went over it. I just looked at it, but I'll do it again in a minute. So we got FedEx. All right. So we got FedEx is the next one. Okay. Right. They've been in a nice uptrend for the last 6 weeks, right? So let's look at FedEx real quick. All right. Look at this right here. Okay. So this is on a daily time frame, right? So first off, we got the daily time frame right here, right? Now, what I will say is this, I got this off the weekly time frame, right? But this right here could potentially be a double top on the daily time frame. Okay. It could be a double top on a daily time frame. Potentially, right? But I'm looking at FedEx to the upside. Why? Because look at this right here. We got a 2-1-2 continuation setup, right? So last week, FedEx consolidated, right? Look at this. They consolidated, came down, pushed up, right? They're in a clear uptrend right here. Trend is your friend, right? I don't see any fair value gaps to the upside that could be stopping it, right? So we got a one candle on last week, right? We don't have any real resistance here, right? So if we get above 271.91, right? If we get above 271.91, then enter in the calls, right? And what I would say is you can ride this thing all the way up to 281. Okay? This is a layup right here. All right? And you got to understand with FedEx, right? You got to understand with FedEx, this is the holiday season, right? So for the last 6 weeks, going into what? The fourth quarter, right? The fourth quarter, FedEx has been in an uptrend, right? They've been in an uptrend right here. So because we got Christmas and packages and people are spending all this money, you know what I'm saying? Their business is going to be higher. And so they could definitely have another $10 week, right? Look at what they've done. They went from 244 to 255. That's $11 in a week, right? They went from 250 to 263. That's $13 in a week, right? So they can definitely go up by $10 this week if they break above 272, right? I said 271.91, but you could say 272, right? Break above here, no resistance, ride this thing up right here, right? To 281, call it a day. It's that simple, right? If we go to the 4 hour, right? I see zero resistance, right? I see the only resistance I see is at 278 potentially, but I don't see nothing else. I see nothing stopping FedEx from hitting 281, if I'm being honest. All right. Like I say, the only thing that I see potentially, this could be a double top right here. So if we do reject off of 272, then don't enter in calls, right? But if you see it close above that 272 on a daily, or if it breaks above 272 on a 30-minute time frame, you could day trade it, take entry, ride it up $1-2, exit, go on about your day. All right. But on a weekly time frame with FedEx, what I'm seeing is a 212 bullish continuation to the upside, price target of 281.90. All right. Let me know if that makes sense, y'all. Let me know if that makes sense. I've been calling, I don't know if you guys pay attention, but I think 2-3 weeks ago, I had FedEx on my list, my watch list. And then like a month before that, I had them on my watch list. FedEx be in the rotation because they be moving. All right. Let's see. For QUBT calls, okay? I only do options. I don't do shares. If I do shares, I'm just buying them for the long term. I don't trade shares. I trade options. All right. So yeah. So yeah, I like FedEx. And then let's look at SoFi real quick. All right. SoFi. What we got? Okay. So SoFi. So, okay, so we got SoFi in this area right here. This is on a weekly. It just bounced off of this fair value gap in the 21 EMA. We go to the daily. We on a failed 2 down. So for SoFi, very simple. SoFi got to close on a daily above 25.49. Okay. Calls. 5.49. Okay. Calls above 25.49 on SoFi. And I would be looking for it to retrace this candle right here and my price target would be 28.05. Right? Just like that. All right. Price target 28.05. Now tomorrow, it could break high of day at 25.45, and then it could reject at 25.51 or like maybe like 25.80. Okay, so be careful of that, right? If you're gonna swing them, yeah, be careful of that. But if they come up here and reject, then they could be coming all the way down here, right, to $23. So yeah, so calls above 25.49. You can ride this thing up to $28 with ease. All right, I might do that this week in a small account challenge. We just got to see. Okay. Um, what method is that you use? It's new to me. I use the strap method. Okay, I use the strap method. It's by Rob Smith, OG in the game. Basically, it's three numbers. That's all you need to remember. All right, numbers and colors. That's all you need to remember. I made a video the other day breaking it all down. I have about 2 to 3 different videos about the strap method that you can use and you can make money with. You can learn how to use it. All right. If you want to go deeper on the strap method, be sure to click the link in the description, book a one-on-one, and then we could lock in on that way and create your trading plan. Okay. But those are my setups for this week. Right. We got a double bottom on QUBT. Right. We got MMM on a 312 bullish reversal. And then we got FedEx on a 212 bullish continuation. All right. All of this is off of the strap method. All right. Y'all, please understand when I say this stuff is life changing. Right. If you don't know yet, right, let's say you trading and you still new and you ain't seen the life changing thing happen to you yet. I want you to keep showing up and I want you to stay in the game because it's going to be that one trade where you're going to be up 200% and you put more money than you made usually, you're going to be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, this is life changing. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have that $2,000 a day, that $8,000 a week, that $10,000 a month, and then you're going to be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So what up, Mr. Colorado? How you feeling? Yes, yeah, RIP. For real. All right. But yeah, the strat method, it makes trading so much simpler for me, right? It has turned me up. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So yeah, I cannot, what up on me grind? I cannot say enough about the strap method. That's why all of my analysis and everything is based off of the strap method. And then I use order blocks as well and fair value gaps. Okay. I try to keep it simple. I don't need a lot, but what I do have is very effective and it makes a lot of money. It prints a lot of money for not just me, but other people as well, right? We got people inside the Discord, they having their first $1,000 days, right? If I just look at this right here, right? Real quick, look at this right here, y'all, okay? Let's go to the profits tab. Look. So this is the profits tab right here, right? Mark Quinn, look at this. He said, this is Coinbase, right? He said, I'm swinging puts into next week. He's already up, right? He's already up on this trade $1,000, 279%. 279%, right? Shout out to Mark Quinn. If you watching, shout out to you, Mark Quinn. All right, $1,000. Okay. What else we got? Best B, 22%, right? Jamila, right? She made $1,800 on Friday alone. Okay, $1,800, right? She learned how to trade the strat. She get into the paper, right? Jazzy D, consistent, 30%, right? Trade. Look right here, right? Adam, he said it was a great day. It tested him, but he locked in, right? He watched price action, multiple 100% on the day, right? Look, $300, right? 21%. This was 157%, right? 20% on Palantir again, 125% on Palantir, right? IWM 60%, bodied them right on Friday. We got Rich Tick 62%, 684, right? We got Swift, 163 off IWM. Okay. Rich Chick again. Look, 237, 360, right? 110, right? Look at Doc. Smacked IWM for 1600. And that smacked Spy for 1700. That's 3 bands right there. That don't include any other trades, right? That Doc is in. Look, 530, right? 20%, 24%, right? On IWM, 26%, 35%, right? 62%, 87%, right? Listen, this is the place right here. Look, what did he say? Mark Quinn, right? He said, what a day. This was on the 20th, right? Look at this right here. Oh my goodness, 700, 963, 3 bands, 500, 185, 174, 600, 200, 163, 50%, 40%, 125%, 44%, 183%, 400% returns, 397% returns, y'all. This is what happens when you learn the strat and you learn how to really trade, right? First $1,000 day, right? You see this right here? $1,000, right? Come on now. This is how we get down right here, right? We doing this every single day, y'all. 20%, 50%, right? 150% up on his account. He grew his account by 150%. I mean, he doubled his account in a day. All right. Look at this. E4K made 5 racks, right? 33%, 100%, right? $300 on a day, right? What we got right up here? 1,400. Rich Chick murdering the game, 77%. 2,000. Come on now. 86%, 22%, 71%. $1,900 on a day again, right? What did Adam say? Biggest trade to date. Made $3,500 in a day, right? Listen, y'all. We do this every single day, man. All right. I just gotta show off everybody inside of the Prosperity Collective that's prospering, right? Listen, we do this every single day. We do this every single week. It don't matter if the market going up. It don't matter if the market coming down, right? It don't matter. The only thing that matters is we know how to read the charts, right? We pay attention. We have attention to detail, and we execute flawlessly. That's the only thing that matters. Once you understand that part of the game right there, the world is your oyster. The world is your playground. Okay? That's how we get down. So listen, if y'all want to join and really learn how to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every single day, then, you know what I'm saying? Come and join. All right? Can you explain the strike prices choices? I mean, I got, 10 videos about that, right? At the end of the day, you got to know your price target, and that's how I dictate what my strike price is, right? If there's order blocks or whatever, right, I just got to see. I got to see how the stock is moving. I got to see if there's volume. I got to see if the spreads are tight, right? I look at open interest as well. But yeah, usually I go maybe 2 to 3 levels out of the money, right, to take my entry on certain stocks, depending on where they're at. And that's how I dictate what my strike price is, right? Super simple. Super simple. But yeah, y'all. Okay, so listen. We went over SPY, went over IWM, went over last week's watch list, 3 for 3, right? If you would have took any of 3 of those trades, you would have banked. Shout out to Omaha, Nebraska, right? We went over this week's watch list. We got MMM, we got QUBT off of a double bottom, and we have FedEx as well on a 212 bullish reversal, and MMM is on a 312 bullish reversal as well. All right, this is how we get down. I hope all of you guys, if y'all ready to make some money, man, put it in the comments in the chat. If you gonna make some bread this week, put it in the comments, man. Put it in the chat. If you about to make some bread this week off of any of these stocks we talked about, let me know. All right? Because every single week, we just keep rinsing and repeating. Rinsing and repeating. Rinsing and repeating. Every single week, y'all. All right? Every single week, we do this over and over and over again. All right? So I really, really, really hope that you guys understand this. Y'all getting value, and you also aren't just trying to get. You don't want to just be told what to get into. I hope that you guys are understanding why I'm even saying I'm gonna get into this trade, right? Because that's how you really, really, really change your life, and that's how you really make some really big money. Okay, stop uh, being desperate, right? Be patient, right? And make sure that you guys are basing your entries off of a actual thesis and not just something that you feel. All right. So, listen, y'all. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope y'all have a great week as well. All right. Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head and go get into this world because your head is a dangerous place to live, man. All right. And also, I want y'all to say it with me, man. The more you study, the less you worry. All right. Listen, we're going to smack the market this week. Okay. It's holiday week as well. We got Thanksgiving on Thursday. Obviously, the market going to be closed in. All right. So don't make no crazy decisions. Don't do nothing stupid. All right. If you got to just day trade, then just day trade. But you guys have the levels. You guys know how to execute, right? If you want to join the Prosperity Collective, link is in the description. If you want to book a one-on-one, the link is in the description. All right? So we're going to get this money this week, and we're going to reconvene throughout the week and also next week on Sunday, and then we're going to see what happened, all right? So y'all have a great day. I'm going to holler at you guys on tomorrow's video. All of y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.